What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Myth of Empires Guide to Guilds. All right, so this is actually my first one I'm doing because this one was requested by somebody in one of my videos, because I always ask you guys, if you have something you want to request that I haven't done yet or maybe not have plans for, this is one I did not have currently written down. But this one is a very simple one. So this one was, somebody asked me, how do guild skills work? And I've also got somebody who asked about specifically how to make money off the boundary marker. Now, if you are not aware, I will show you real quick before we start looking through all the guild skills, you can make a sizable amount of money a day by selling to your boundary marker. Okay, so if you walk up to your guild boundary marker, you open it up, in the top right hand corner, you will see 6 different tabs. You'll see one labeled resources. Now in here, you can put resources into your boundary marker, and when you click on them, let's click on complete stone pops up, and I'm able to sell 100 complete stone for 12.3 copper a piece for a total of 1230 copper. So there is a way to make that go up, and I will cover that in this guide for those that have been asking. I will show you how this works. Now you can increase the amount of resources you're allowed to sell because you have the amount of unspent resources and the amount of unspent money, which you can't see at the moment. And then your guild has a guild one as well. You know, unspent guild resources and unspent guild money. So there is a limit to how much a guild can sell and how much a personal person in the guild can sell. Okay? Now keep that in mind while we move forward, because we're going to get to that towards the end of the video. So you're going to hit I. You're going to go up to the top corner right here. You're going to open up guild, and then you're going to look in the bottom corner. You're going to see guild skills, and you're going to hit that. All right. So this is where the fun stuff starts. And this is usually where you can see the difference or know the difference between a guild that has good stuff and a guild that doesn't, because their stuff is leveled. Now we haven't been really focusing on leveling ours that much, but you have 4 tabs. You have battle, production, command, and internal affairs. First off, we're going to start with the battle. Now battle, pretty straightforward. You've got your maintenance, you have your damage. Okay, now these have to be leveled in order to level the further ones, okay? So right off the back, you can increase your one-handed, two-handed, pole arms, and all that, all the durability loss. So basically decreases the said weapon's durability loss by 7%. Okay, now when we get ours up one more level, which we can't do until we're at guild level 8, you can increase it by 8%. So you can have a max of an 8% durability loss to all weapons in the game. Our guild currently has 7%. All right, now this is something everybody can do. This also comes down to being in a bigger guild pays off big time, because you can get these up higher and faster. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, weapon durability and armor durability is so garbage in this game. Well, if you were in a bigger guild, you'd have things like this and things like this. You know, increase heavy armor defense, and then you would have skills like this, maintenance, you know, durability loss maintenance. And then there are even other skills that take it even further, that, you know, reduce durability loss up to 50% on tools and weapons and armor. It's insane. Like in early game, everything breaks faster. It's once you get in a really big guild and you level up your skills in a specific thing, they break less. Anyways, now that's out of the way. Now, this category, obviously, you're looking at your bow. You're not just your bow, but you're looking at all weapon maintenances. This one is weapon damage. As you can clearly tell, we currently have ours at 35 out of 90 on all weapon damage in the guild. So we have, you know, your one-handed, your pole arm, your two-handed, your throwing, your bow, and your crossbow, which at 35 out of 90, that's like 17.08% more damage for every weapon type. And this affects everybody, guys. This is guild. So these are skills that affect everybody in the guild. So, yep, there is a maintenance tonight, by the way. They're doing some fixing to the servers that are needed to be done. But anyways, next you have heavy armor expert and light armor expert. Now these skills right here, they allow you to increase your defense while wearing armor. At 35, you have 17%. And then obviously at 32 with this one, you have 15.5%. Up here, you have your maintenance skills. So you have your maintenance for your light and your heavy armor. We currently have ours at 5 out of 8, which is 5% less durability loss for your armors. And then over here, you have horse charge damage. We haven't really leveled this much, but it's the amount of damage your horse does for charging. Increase the maximum physical fitness is very important. We have ours at 30 at the moment. Increase maximum HP for all members in your guild. So ours is 14.4%. Then you have increased siege damage, increased siege repair, shield expert, decrease durability loss for shields by 5%. And then you have rescue the wounded, increase the rescue efforts for all guild members by 2%. Now, if we level this up, obviously we can easily level it up. You can get it where it raises members even quicker. So that's your battle tab. Next, we're going to move on to production. Production is another very important tab. These are all important in my opinion. So next you have your gathering rates. So if you did not know this, if you're not aware of guild blessings, you can actually increase your gathering rate by 72%. Well, let me rephrase this. Depending on what level your guild has in your guys' gathering, which is done by guild skills, this goes up or down. This could be high or low. Ours is 72% for our first purchase, and I think 109% for our second purchase, and they do stack. So the gathering rate, you can give yourself a personal buff. Now, this isn't the gathering rate, it's how fast you gather. It's not how much you get, okay? So it allows you to, like, one-shot copper ore, or one-shot stone, or two-shot iron ore, or two-shot, black iron, stuff like that. It allows you to gather the resources faster, so you're not spending as much time. That's what this does, okay? So in saying that, now I could just hit the other button, open this up instantly, but I'm being lazy about it. All right, so these right here increase your gathering rates, so how fast you farm. We have mining and lumber at 40 out of 90. So everybody in the guild farms lumber and mining resources 22.22% faster. We have bow power, so increase damage against animals with a bow by 5.5%. We don't have that one very high at the moment. Increase your plowing efficiency, so basically how well you plow the fields for harvesting. Weapon master, increase durability of crafted items. We have this set of 30 out of 90. Increase the effectiveness of crafted items as well. And then armor master, same thing. We have these at 30 out of 90. We are going to be increasing these here soon in our clan because we like to bounce back and forth. Actually, I believe we're going to be doing, I think we were going to do some of these to catch up to 40 on them, and then we were going to bounce back to battle and try to bump these up to 45, 50, because we like to bounce between production and battle. And then over here, these are your mines. Okay, so over here you have increase the guild minefield outpost, guild lumberyard, guild quarry, guild granary, and increase guild building durability. Now, if you're not aware, you can build, if you've ever seen them, they're called collection sites, okay? Now, collection sites, whoop, wrong button. If you press M, they look kind of like that over there, but an easier one is you got here, you have that one. You got this one, you've got this one right here, you've got this one right here. You're getting a pattern here. These are called collection sites, and over top of them, you can build what is referred to as guild collection depots, like resource depots, strongholds, and you can get those through your guild tech skills, which I will probably cover in a different video, but for the most part, these are your guild techs, and you can get different ones. You've got your basic, you've got your, if I can scroll, it's being stupid. You got your intermediate, which we can purchase. And then you've got your advanced. Okay, each one of these allows you to gather more and more resources from said locations, okay? Now, so if we go back into guild skills and go to production, that's what this does. This allows those buildings to, their output to produce faster. We have all of ours at 30% because we actually utilize them. We have a minefield and a quarry that we control on our PvE server. Now we don't control it like in a negative way. We just, our clan has priority over it. So we use, our NPCs are there, we feed them, all that stuff. And that's how these work. So, this one produces things like, your ores and your salts and your powders. So you can get, well, not specifically those. So like, your saltpeter, your copper ore, your iron ore, all that kind of stuff. Lumberyard produces things like branches, you know, your logs, your complete logs, your standard hardwood logs. That's what this one does. The quarry, which is for sands, it's pretty straightforward. It produces sands, clays, rubble, stone, and complete stone. And then the granary produces different types of basic food, basic like wheats and different types of things, so that way you can have food. This one is actually really useful as well too. This one increases durability of all your buildings as well as the construction of them, which is really useful if you're in PvP. You really want this one up level high. Then you have the guild shop. Now the guild shop is probably one of the best things in the game, in my opinion. It allows you to buy certain items or specialty items that you can only get through the guild shop. Speaking of the guild shop, all right, so we're gonna go look at the guild shop here real quick. Let me go find my horse wherever I put you. When in doubt, hit you. There you are. That one's my horse. That's right. I was going to be dropping off stuff. No, get back here. Thank you. All right. So we're going to go out to the guild shop. Now, our guild shop is currently outside of our walls because we are still building and remodeling and all that stuff. This is our new base location. It's a grind to build in this game. Shut the doors because we don't want any tigers running in because they do spawn here. Oh, a little bit of lag. All right, so that building right there is the guild shop. Now, the guild shop allows you to buy certain items in the game as you level it up. So as you level your guild shop, you get more and more stuff added to it. So as you can see, we've got things like, you know, copper and iron ingots, coarse cloth, food, tools, bronze tools, you know, different types of the hides, some leathers, bone tools, you know, horse food, even siege weapons, ice, you know, all kinds of stuff, arrows for your towers. And the guild shop uses merit. So if you click on something, let's just click on food. Up here, it'll say your guild level, your character level, and how many merits you've earned so far playing the game. You can earn merits from doing things like dailies, weeklies, all kinds of different ways to do merits. And then down here, it says what level is required of the guild in order to have this. So level 1 guild, so you get this at a base level. You have to be at least a level 5, and you need at least 96 merits to purchase one of these. So if I wanted to purchase this meat right here, I'm gonna click on that. You can buy, there also is a limit to how much you can buy, but you can affect this here in a minute, and I'll show you how. You can just hit buy, and then you'll watch that I will lose 96 merits up here. Oop, lost 96 merits. So it's basically another type of currency outside of your copper coins. But there is a copper coin section, and now this is used for quenching. So basically, you see how like all you have these blue weapons down here? Now don't look at these. These you can only, the gold ones we got from a special reward that was given to us because the servers were down for like almost an entire day one time. So we all got like this in the mail for people that were around during that time period. And this is a drop off of an enemy. But these all right here are crafted tools or crafted weapons and armor in the game that if you have high craftsmanship or high, you know, whatever, you can quench these. All right. So, but to quench them, if they're like blue, green, and whatnot, you need the essences. So if you have a green thing that you crafted, you need the basic. Blue, you need common, and so forth. Purple, advanced. If it's orange, you need fine, and if it's red, you need exceptional. Okay. And then also there is the water, which is used for another type of craft in the game. And then you have the new stuff that came out actually quite recently. So if you're curious, if you're one of those people that are curious where you get your silk floss, your silver armor fragments, and your gold armor fragments, you buy them at the guild shop. Now they are not cheap. This costs 1,000 copper. Each one of these costs 4,000 copper, and you need like 9 of them to make the full set. So you're looking at a nice pretty penny per armor. So this is one place you can get them. Now I'm not sure if you can find them in the game, but keep in mind too that currently, like, you are limited to how many you can get. Like with our guild skill level, we can only purchase 5 silver and 5 gold ones a day. All right, so that is how that works. That is the guild shop skill. All right, so increasing this allows you to have more stuff in your guild shop. Now, I believe, yes, now if I want to increase our guild shop to level 7, I have to increase these 2 skills to 40 points. So that's going to cost a pretty little penny. We're looking at least about 20 to 30,000 copper. Now, then you have this skill right here, the guild depots. You can increase the amount of guild depots capacity by 10 cells, basically 10 slots. We have ours at 10 out of 50. So as you can see, you can increase Guild Depot deposit by a ton. And then over here, you have increased the amount of Guild Depot buildings you're allowed to have. So you can actually increase it by an additional 4 buildings, 4 Guild Depots. Now each Guild Depot is limited to how much resources they can have, but you can have multiple Guild Depots within your base area and have them for different things. And then over here, you have Medicine Master. Increases the chance of gathering extra medicine, getting extra medicine, or the crafting efficiency of medicine in the game. Medicine is very important. You should be using it. I mean, I even use bandages even at level 50. All right, moving on. This is the long one. The next two are going to be real quick because they're much smaller. So command is pretty straightforward. This is your ability to how many members you can have in your clan, to, you know, the speed in which you, the obedience rate of creatures or things that require obedience, whether you're taming a thrall or a mount. And then you have increased obedience gain right here. So you have increased rate of obedience gain, and you have increased gain by so obedience gain by. So this is taming, and this is thrall. So this is how fast you can how fast your members in your guild can tame a thrall. So we have 30 out of 90, so it's 16.6% faster. And then we have taming at 30 out of 90. So we tame horses, elephants, and rhinos at 16.67% faster. Now, this doesn't matter if you're a level 1 character or a level 60 character. Everybody gets this extra boost. Over here, increase the rate of XP for warriors, so how fast your NPC warriors level up. Increase the amount of HP each warrior gets. This one decreases the cooldown on server transfer, cross-server teleportation by 10 seconds per level. This one is an additional way to increase the amount of guild members you can have. So like our next one is increase guild members, max member by 30. So we'll get an additional, whatever it gives us for that. It won't literally give us 30 more slots. It'll just bump it to 30. I think it goes up by 1 every single time you level this up. So we'll have an additional 1 on top of that. Okay, easy, pretty straightforward. Next one, Internal Affairs. Now this is the one that I actually had a specific question about. So if you're out there and this is the one you asked for, I'm going to explain how this works now. So let's head back to the guild boundary marker so I can show you guys real quick. All right, how this works. So we're going to talk about how you can make money in this game daily just by playing the game and selling stuff to your guild boundary marker, aka selling to the Empire. And I missed the door on the way through. There we go. All right, so let's get back to the guild boundary marker real quick. All right, so now that we're at the guild boundary marker, I'm going to show you guys here one more time. So if you go to resources, you have how many personal resources, number of resources. So if you have like 100 grass and you go to sell it, you know, it'll take 100 off of that 790. Okay, now you also have to keep in mind too that your guild has a resource limit too. So you know, everybody has a limit to how much they can do personally, but the guild has a limit as well. Okay, so how this works is we go back into guild skills, go to guild skills, go to internal affairs. You have 2 types. You have the more the better and vast fortune. So the more the better, the boundary marker's collective resource limit has been increased by 20%. Vast fortune increases the boundary marker's max resource trade by 20%. So this one specifically increases the amount of items you are allowed to trade. This one increases the amount of money you get for items for trade. So basically, let's say now I can't really use this as an example without spending the money to physically show you this. But let's say I go to resources, and at our current one, it's 10 out of 10, because you notice how it says 12.3. So 12.30, okay? If I increase the first one, the resource limit right here goes up, okay? If I increase the second one, the amount of money you get per trade and the amount of money that you're allotted to trade goes up, because basically that's how it works. So what our guild does, we actually sell jade, because 2 stacks of jade, 200 jade, is roughly 6.8k. for 2 stacks of jade. And that's only 200 out of our current 790. So basically, when you increase the second one, so if we go back, if you increase the second one, you'll get more money per trade over max all. So eventually you can get 2 stacks of jade, or you could sell 3 stacks of jade and get 10k. And then maybe at max, and this is my assumption because obviously ours is only 10 out of 50. How it's been working so far, if you had like 5 stacks of jade, you could get like 15 to 20k, and that's just a rough ballpark figure. Probably not the exact number. I'm just giving an example of what basically this one does. First, this one lets you do the limit, the resource limit of how many number of items you're allowed to trade for your guild to the boundary marker. So hopefully that explained it for those people that were asked that specific question. And hopefully that helps you make a little bit more money each day off your boundary marker. Okay, so now moving on to the next thing. This one is honor. Honor is what you need in order to level up your nobility. So if you go to nobility, you'll notice that you have different ranks, okay? By increasing that honor trait within your clan, your members will gain more honor. Now, I am almost done with Noble of Ascourt, and I'll be moving on to this one here real shortly. These are important. You should be doing these, okay? You should be focusing on getting honor. Now, there's lots of different ways to get honor. You can do PvP battle, you can do county battle, you can do fortress battles, you can do dailies, weeklies, everything earns you honor, okay? Just by playing the game and doing different tasks, you get honor. By ranking up, you get more XP, or more stats, okay? So you have, these are the stats I have. Now, if I was to go to this rank, you'll see like the amount of HP that I get jumps from, I go from 2.5% boost to my HP to a 6% boost to my HP just by jumping between these two titles, these two ranks. And then as you can clearly see, let's just jump straight to the max one, 25, 25, 25 boost, 25 boost, 20, 20, you know, 1.5. I think that's, what is that? Increase mounted damage, so more damage to do with their horse, shield, damage with headshots, you know, all different kinds of stuff. Plus titles if you're the guild leader. It's a bonus if you're a guild leader. But that's how that works, okay? So let's go back to guild skills, internal affairs. So that's what this does. This increases the amount of honor. As you can see, we have ours at 40 out of 90. Because we like to level our honor. We actually have a couple of guys that are already halfway through the second line already. All right, so this one is increase the protection time. This is more of a PvP one right here. Increase protection time by 5 hours through tax payment. So if you pay taxes on your PvP server, you have the ability to increase the protection time by 5 hours for a specific time slot each day, where you basically can't be PvP'd. Or like the buildings within your inner circle, your inner white circle can't be PvP'd. And that's really much what all that does. And then over here, you have increased boundary markers max level. So ours is 4 out of 6. So you can keep increasing your boundary marker so that you can have more things can be put within that base location. Okay, that's what this one does. This one up here, family business, increases the base number by 1,000. So you're building base number. So basically there is a limit to how much you can build within your boundary marker. There is a limit, okay? This ups that limit. That's what this one does. So good, whatever that word is. I'm having a dyslexic moment at the, so I apologize. But this one increases the boundary marker's blessing of effectiveness. Now, remember, when I originally was talking about how our blessings, if we went up back here, our blessings are 72%, that affects this. Now, every time this goes up, this goes up. So when this one goes up to like +8 or, you know, 82 or 83, this will go up to 800. And then when this goes up to, you know, 90 something, this will go up to 900. And then when it goes up to like 100 something, this will go up to 1,000. But then the second one will get just as bad. Like our second blessing is already pushing about 2K already. So I'm pretty sure that will probably push close to 3.5, 4K because the second one increases with it. Okay. I didn't mean to hit that. All right, let's go back in here. We're almost done. Actually, we have one left. This one, which is probably one of the most important ones in the game if you want multiple base locations for your guild, increases the maximum number of boundary markers by 1. So you can have an additional 2 guild markers. Now, we actually have the level to buy our 3rd marker. We are a level 7 guild, and we could easily afford it because it doesn't cost a lot of copper points, but we need to get I don't know. I think we need to get this to 6. And in order to get this to 6, we need to get this probably to 50. So I think we have to get this to 50 in order to get this to 6. And then once this is 6, I think we can take this to 2, which will give us our 3rd marker. I believe that's how that one is. But that's what you can do. We already bought our 2nd one. So yeah, that's how all of these work. Hopefully this helped you. And I know this was a lot longer than most of the guides I do. I try to keep them pretty short and sweet, but I had a request on how to explain guild skills. Now, just because this is already going on 25 minutes, I'm just going to throw this in here real fast for you guys. We're going to do guild tech because this is an easy, quick, simple one to get out of the way. Guild techs, which are buildings that you can only have or purchase through a guild that you are in or you do yourself. So you have things like your boundary marker, your cross-server teleporting, your battlefield tent, which allows you to teleport into different battles like county battles, fortress battles. This allows you to jump servers. This is how many, your base locations for your guilds. Your guild workshop, which allows you to craft guild buildings. Guild depot, which is basically your guild bank. Guild shop, which I showed you guys what the guild shop was already. Your fair, which is basically your server's auction house. So just to give you guys a quick idea of how it works, we're going to go to territory. Now, when I say your server, I mean literally your server. This is your server. Every single one of these is your server. These are counties, or I shouldn't say counties, but these are different worlds on your server. The fair connects all of them. So I'm pretty sure it only affects the worlds on your server. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's just the worlds on your server. Okay? So that's what the fair does. So that's how that works. Then you have the siege workshop, which allows you to create siege weapons in the game. Then you have your strongholds, which allow you to collect resources from collection sites, which I pretty much discussed that already. Then you have like your siege weapons, like your mangonel, your flamethrower, your simple ballista. Then you have your clay watchtower. You have the wolf patrol hut, which is really cool. We actually have a couple of these on PvE, and they're very, very useful. You can actually set them up to kill wild other creatures as well. And then your watchtowers are auto turrets now, but you still have to supply them with ammo. You don't have to put an NPC in anymore. Then you have your guild planters, which are limited. By the way, you are limited to the amount of guild planters you have. You have your common and you have your exclusive ones. You have your advanced guild workshop. You have more PvP buildings like trebuchet, your battling ram. I don't know how to pronounce this one. It's basically, it's like a mounted thing you can put on the walls of your bases, like on the big walls that we have surrounding our base. And you can like drop like, jars of pitch and raw logs and all kinds of stuff. Then you have your intermediate guild strongholds. You have your advanced siege foundation. You have siege towers. You have your mobile flame turret. You have the advanced guild shop. You have the mangonel, a better one. You have another flamethrower upgrade, simple ballista level 40. You have the stone towers. You have the advanced guild depot, which is even better. You have the advanced resource stronghold, more trebuchets, battling rams. You get the idea. Then you have the advanced logistics building and guild staging building, which are basically just the advanced versions of the first ones. And then you have your metal arrow towers. So these are all buildings you can only purchase through your guild. And just to show you guys, there are a limit to a lot of these. So we're going to go back here real quick. We're going to go to construction management. As you can see, depending on your guild level and if you purchase the right skills, you can increase the amount of each of these. Now, some of these are set. Towers are set. The community, the common planters and exclusive planters are set. But you can increase depots, and boundary markers can be increased through guild skill. Everything else has a set number that you're allowed to have within a guild. So always make sure you're keeping an eye on these. And these all do show up on your map. So if you're ever curious where it says, it says I got 5. Well, as you can clearly see, the guild planters are right here. And then it shows all your guild buildings as well. So obviously you can scroll in a lot further, even though this is like, it's not letting me. But if I go, let me show you here real quick. If I go up to the territory map and I go into here, I go to mini map. I was clicking on the wrong one. You can actually scroll all the way in, like really close. So if you're ever having a hard time seeing where each one is, or if they're buried behind somebody's stuff, just go to your territory marker up here and then go click down here on minimap, and you can see where your guild buildings are exactly. If they're like covered up maybe by somebody else's base, or they have something over top of it and there's a marker you can't see, that's how you can tell. All right. So I think that's going to call it for this one, because this is dragging on 30 minutes and this is a very, very long guide. But hopefully this answers a lot of questions for you guys out there that have been asking about, you know, guild skills and how they all work. And for you guys that specifically asked for how does the boundary marker work with trading and resources, hopefully this guide helped you with that. And I do apologize if it was longer in the video, but I wanted to try to get as much information from this category in this video as I could as quickly as possible. Again, if this guide helped you out, don't forget to hit a thumbs up button. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know if you have any suggestions for other guides. And again, happy hunting and good luck.